we're done with the conversation tonight. I mean, let's go to
Mr. Chair,
a long day.
When we began the conversation, you said if the folks should pose questions, and then you said that everyone would have 6 minutes. I know I certainly didn't use my 6 minutes, and I do want to offer some concluding thoughts.
Mr. Sittenfeld, you did have time to speak. We're going to move on to first reading of item number 1.
Mr. Chair, as a duly elected member of council, I'm asking to speak.
And I've decided that we've had a long discussion, and we're going to have first reading of item number 1.
Mr. Chair, then I will move to overturn the ruling of the chair. And look, we've been in these council chambers for 7.5 hours now, and I know plenty of my colleagues don't agree with me on this issue. They might not want to hear what I have to say, but and we've all been in this position, out of respect for the process, for the people who put me in this seat, I'd like to speak.
The roll call vote on motion to overturn the chair's rule.
Councilmember Flynn?
No.
Vice Mayor Mann?
Yes.
Councilmember Murray?
Yes.
Councilmember Silbott?
Yes.
Councilmember Simpson?
Yes.
Councilmember Sittenfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Smitherman?
Yes.
Councilmember Winburn? Councilmember Young?
Yes. Let me first say,
Mr. Sittenfeld.
let me first say thank you very much to all my colleagues, especially those who don't agree with me what I'm about to say, for having the same respect that I think I have always shown people in this chambers, that your voice should never be suppressed. So thank you very much for upholding my overruling of the chair. What I was going to say is 2 things. One, before we cast these votes, and I said this earlier too, I am not sitting here as some rah-rah cheerleader for the streetcar. I have taken the full wrath of streetcar supporters for voting against an allocation of $15 million to let this project go forward, and then for voting against an allocation of $18 million to let this go forward. What I do know is that my decision-making is grounded in reality, and it is based in facts, and we are where we are now. So above all this right now, my decision is about dollars and cents and money that is spent, and are we going to have tens of millions of dollars of wasted money, or are we going to have something to show for the effort? So this is, for me, at its core, a fiscal decision. I think voters returned me to the seat because they believe I've been a careful steward of their dollars, and that is exactly what I'm trying to do now. The second thing I want to say, Mr. Mayor, is there are issues, and they should be hotly debated. But what's bigger than issues are principles. And I do agree with you. I think the right to referendum is a sacred right to referendum. And this isn't a weird legal theory. What we're about to vote on is the project itself. And I don't want to be standing in the way of saying, just like I didn't want to have my voice suppressed right now, I don't want to have the voters' voice suppressed, ever. One thing during this conversation that I thought of, my sister once wrote a piece in Cincinnati magazine about the Free Store Food Bank, and she said, you hope you never need it, but you're glad it's there. There are plenty of times I wouldn't want to use a referendum, but I'm glad the right, the principle behind the referendum is there. So I'm going to be voting no on the emergency to uphold that. Thank you.